we're going to do a Doctor Who television review, and in this video we'll do a join up of two episodes because they are the two parts of one story. First episode is The Empty Child, and the second is The Doctor Dances. Okay, so in the first episode we have Doctor and Rose in TARDIS, and they're travelling through space, and then they start falling in and out of the time vortex until they finally land on Earth. But unknown to them, this is Earth 1941, London, and so it's obviously in the middle, near the middle of the Second World War, and there's remnants of previous Blitz attacks, and everything it just looks like a war zone because houses have been bombed, people are injured. It's horrible. So they've arrived at the bomb site, and the Doctor and Rose see this woman called Nancy there, and she's looking for someone, and the Doctor and Rose start looking around, and Rose wanders off. At the same time, the Doctor heads back to the TARDIS trying to find where Rose has gone, and he realises that he hears the telephone on the outside of the TARDIS ringing, and Nancy says to him, "Don't pick it up." Scoffing at her, he picks it up and he hears a child saying, "Are you my mummy?" And then the phone goes dead. And the Doctor turns around, puts the phone down, turns around to talk to Nancy, and she's gone. So he wanders off trying to find her. Meanwhile, Rose has got herself caught up in some ropes that are attached to a blimp, and she's caught going up into the air and travelling over war-torn London. Then a spaceship arrives, captained by a new character called Captain Jack Harkness, and he rescues her in this spaceship, which is technically an alien warship, and he gets her back into his ship and talks to her and finds out who she is and everything like that, and she tries to find out who he is and what he's doing. Now, the Doctor has found Nancy. She has gathered a lot of children together at a house where the people that own the house are hiding in their shelter from the bombs. So, because they're about to eat, all their food is left out on the table. They're talking into that, and the Doctor arrives, and he starts talking to them and everything like that, and they offer to let him eat with them. Then he asks about the telephone call and about the boy, the child, and then Nancy goes, no, you have to leave. And then there's a knock at the door, and the Doctor goes to open it after Nancy and the children saying, don't do that. And there's this boy wearing a gas mask, or you think he's wearing a gas mask. What it is actually the gas mask has been melted onto his face, and all he can say is, "Are you my mummy?" Nancy gets very scared and she gets all the children to leave through the back door of the house. In the meantime, Rose and Jack have been dancing in his warship and having a generally good time. And she basically, she tells him to put him down just below where they are, which is sort of near Big Ben. And she runs to try and find the Doctor. The Doctor and her meet, and then the Doctor and her decide to get back to the bomb site where they arrived. Near the bomb site there's a hospital, and around this time Captain Jack rejoins the Doctor and Rose. Introductions are made and they head into the hospital. Now we go into a special area in the hospital, and you see that there's this long corridor of rooms with beds in, and they've all got people that have got gas masks melted onto their faces, all asking, "Are you my mummy?" And they start backing them into back of a room, and then everything looks as if it's going to end very, very badly for them. Now, episode 2, carrying on from this, the Doctor has a bright idea, and he says to the children, "Yes, I am, and you've been very naughty. Go back to your bed. Go on, go to your bed." And all of them head off to their beds. Then the 3 of them go off to the very first room, and no one's gone in there, and they're going around there searching. And then they turn, and the little boy from earlier on that was at the house with Nancy is at the door. It just occurred to the Doctor that he's told them all to go to their bedrooms. This is his bedroom. This is where he came. Jack teleports himself and the Doctor and Rose out of the hospital up to his ship. It's around this point on Jack's ship that Rose starts telling the Doctor that her and Jack have danced, and how, everyone likes dancing, and maybe the Doctor should have a bit of a dance. That the Doctor realises that on this particular ship, on this warship, that there are special little particles that are used by alien races to go into war zones, to be medics after a war, to heal the injured. And that's what these this is what's happened to these people. An unperfect of these particles have been released, and they've turned the first person they saw, they believed, which the first person they ever saw who was injured was a small child with a gas mask on, and not realising the difference between flesh and blood and plastic, which is they merged it all together, and that's why the people that have been touched by these particles look as if they've had their gas masks merged with their faces. The Doctor decides to ask Jack to take him back down to the crash site, the bomb site, so we can find out if this is all correct. Once there, he actually injures himself, and he gets a new batch of particles to heal him, so he looks like a real human being. They know what they know what they're meant to look like. And he tries to get them to heal the people that have been turned into these creatures. And it gets sorted out, and it's a happy story and a happy ending. And at the end, the Doctor does dance with Rose, and he saves the day. And then Jack asks if he could come along with the Doctor and Rose. The Doctor accepts. He says yes, you can. And then they leave London, get back into the TARDIS, and travel through space. So for these episodes of Doctor Who, The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, I'm going to give it a score together, because they're one in the one story, but just told in two parts. So I'm going to give it a number 5. Thank you very much, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.